And we are back on Build Phase TV, and today we're going to talk about some versus spoilers, and it feels like it's been 100 years, and I'm super excited. So let's dive right in. Oh man. Has it been that long? It feels like it's been like half a year, like without exaggeration. Oh man. Okay, so to begin, this is going to be Crossover Volume 4. So for people who aren't already familiar with the crossover format release, it is always, well, it's generally cards that support cards that came out previous in the same year, so in the same volume. Although Crossover 3 gave us a whole bunch of new weird stuff that we weren't expecting. So I'm not totally sure what to expect of this crossover, whether it will be the same as Crossover 1 and 2 or continue the trend of Crossover 3 kind of bucking. Is this a Sentinel? Oh, it's a Battle World domain. Ugh. Okay. I thought it was some kind of Sentinel location. All right. Anyway, so Crossover is going to be likely a grab bag of stuff for a bunch of different teams, as well as like battle worlds and terrains and various other stuff. So let's dive right in. Hello and welcome to a new year of Versus System 2 PCG. This was originally supposed to come out in December of 2021, so we're a little bit behind, but COVID times, I genuinely don't care. Like, I'm not at all upset. They got the stuff to us when they could get it to us. I get that everything's delayed. Yes, I would like to have stuff sooner, of course, but like, I'm an adult. I understand. I think they're doing fine on that front. I have no complaints. I just want to flag it as where we're at in the release schedule. Okay, we have plenty of new and returning characters to show you in the upcoming theme sets. However, first we must revisit the unpredictable nature of an old favorite arc to discover the secrets of Crossover Volume 4. Today we travel all the way to the Sentinel territories to meet its inhabitants. So this is a battle world. Powers neutralized. Characters other than Sentinels lose and can't gain powers. Whew. Whew. Wow. So if I remember, unless there's a new way to put battle worlds into play, this changes every time a hero or every time a main character takes a wound. So this probably won't stick around for that long, but holy smokes. That's tough. The battle world domains are entered into as part of a battle world game mode. Oh yeah, and of course, let me revisit what I just said. The only way to get battle worlds into a typical 1 versus 1 game of versus is to use the Grandmaster. There is of course also just plain battle world. So battle world domains are part of battle world game mode, along with various other cards that can change the state of the game. More on those later. Now I bet you're wondering why we brought you all the way out here to the Sentinel territories. It was to meet the master of this domain. Dude, I cannot overstate how happy I am that there's a Mastermold. I hope it's good. I hope it's really cool. But just even if he's just a kitchen table card, I'm happy to see Mastermold. Card art's fine. I think it kind of fits like the era of the rest of the Sentinel stuff. It was that kind of like, what is that, Silver Age era in terms of card art. So I'm fine with it. Sentinel affiliated, of course, level 1. He's a once. Oh wow, this is so big. Here, let's scroll this down a little bit. AKA Sentinel. So he can be powered up by the 16 Sentinels that we have. He's a 1/6/6 with flight and range. That's pretty decent. Mastermold has the keyword powers from each Alpha Combat Unit's learning program in your KO pile. When a supporting character named Sentinel appears on your side, Mastermold gains an XP. So you're going to have to recruit the Sentinels in order to get this guy to level up. You're not going to be able to abuse the power-up mechanic, at least until you get to level 2. So they show us kind of a reminder of what the different alpha programs are. If you need help tracking that, I can't recommend enough the Build Phase Combat card. Definitely helps. Reinforcements. Build. Reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Put a Sentinel card from among them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your deck. Wow. 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 So this is sort of like card search. It's probably more often than not going to just end up being additional card draw, because if you're going to be running this plot twist, you're probably going to be packing enough Sentinels in your deck that you're going to consistently be able to hit them. I think even decks that aren't super heavy on Sentinels, I mean, Ahab is a Sentinel affiliated character and he's pretty fantastic. But if he's your only Sentinel, this card's definitely not worth it. Like, you're going to want to play this in a deck that has a bunch of Sentinels in it, because you don't want to play this and get nothing for it. That would be kind of uncool. But I like that the revealed cards go to the bottom of the deck and there's no shuffle. So that way, even if you don't get a hit, you're still... oh, man, was that it? Okay. Oh, these are new alphas? Man, I skipped right past them figuring they were just reminding us. Oh, wow. Okay. Good call, Bert. Appreciate that. I just assumed they were reminding us what alphas were. Mastermold gains a learning program from his fallen friends. That's only 8 keywords, though, right? Wrong. That's what I get for not reading it. Behold, an armada of analytical automatons. Alliteration is awesome. Okay, so the card art stays the same. That's fine. One of a kind, swarm, that kind of makes sense. Flight range 1/1/1. This is what we expect from all Sentinel stuff. When this character appears, he gets the +1 for each alpha. That's the same. And this one has Combat Master. So once this is in the KO pile, your main character has Combat Master? Wow. That's really strong. Now, Mastermold's attack isn't very good at level... Well, gosh, I don't even know where to start with all this. Okay, let's see what the rest of the new alphas are, and then we'll go to Mastermold level 2. Genius. Wow. Okay, so... I have definitely played games where I've had 4, 5, 6 alpha combat sentinels in play and they stick around because my opponent can't deal with them. Maybe not 6. That's maybe pushing it of just the alpha type, but easily 3, 4. If they all have genius and they're in the back row, your opponent can't get to them even if they want to because they got to deal with other flyers. You could be drawing... I mean, if you get the full suite out, so there was 8... Now there's 12. So if you have that one guy in the KO pile and you play the other 11, which I realize this is Rainbow Unicorn Land, but if you have 11 of them in play and the one guy in the KO pile, that's an extra 11 cards. Wow. Holy cow, that is wild. Okay, Hunter, that's pretty good too. Hunter's really good. Compared to the previous 2, I think Hunter's the weakest out of the 3. That's still extremely good. What's this one gonna say? Invade. So invade is the keyword where if you're attacking the back row, you don't get clipped back. That's definitely out of the new 4. That's the weakest of the new 4. I think the situations where it's good, it's going to look really, really, really good. But it's a little bit situational. Your opponent kind of has to play into it for you to get like really good value out of it. Jungle Hunter has proven that invade is good. There's other cards that have seen some play with this keyword. But as far as the 4, I'm the least excited about invade. Hunter is very good. It's going to be relevant, particularly with those decks that want to go with a ton of Sentinels, like the deck I just played at Midwinter. I would have loved these guys in that deck. Genius is crazy. Oh, and the main character, so you could draw an extra 12 cards a turn if you have all 11 Sentinels, the Genius guy in the KO pile, and Mastermold. And Combat Master, potentially getting that on your main character is massive. Good call, Bert. I would have blew right past that. I did blow right past that. Wow. Man, that makes Machine Combo even crazier. I mean, it's just more gas for it, essentially. And Genius, that's another sort of like backdoor make up for it if you don't hit the full combo. Wow, man, those are strong. These new additions for the growing Sentinel Horde provide some much-needed restocking, refueling. What's the word? Oh, yeah, reinforcement. I always have. I should have learned my lesson to always read these. So now knowing that we could have potentially 20 Sentinels, so a full third of your deck is just Sentinels, or could be just Sentinels, plus Ahab, and maybe if you want to run like Nimrod or whatever, reinforcements is just never going to miss. I mean, statistically, yeah, there's going to be times where you'll maybe hit 5 without hitting a single Sentinel, but this just seems like play this card, draw a Sentinel. Like, wow, okay. Mastermold. I'm going to have to work on my my overlay here, since the last time we did one of these. I've changed some things, and clearly the cards don't fit as well, but live and learn. We'll have it better for the next card reveal. Very excited to be back in reveal season, by the way. AKA Sentinel, his attack is still terrible. So he goes from a 1/6 to a 2/12, is that right? Yeah, he goes from a 1/6 to a 2/12. All systems online. He has the keyword powers from each learning alpha units learning program. Is that what it's called? Yeah, it is. I thought it was called something else before. Okay. Jeez, man, that genius one. I can't get over that. That is really cool. Man, full operational capacity. At the start of your build phase, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Put each revealed supporting character named Sentinel onto your side and the rest on the bottom of your deck. So, 2 attack sucks. Like, on a level 2, that's not good. But he could have Hunter. He could have Berserker. He could have Fearless, Violent. He could potentially, with just... If he gets Berserker, that's a +1 counter. If he gets Hunter, that's +3. So that gets us up to 6. And then if he has Fearless or Violent, depending upon which character he's attacking, now he's a 12/12 level 2. Obviously, this is extremely susceptible to cards that let you name a character and rip stuff out of the deck. Yes, each individual alpha type is one of a kind, so you wouldn't be able to rip all those out of the deck with something like Exorcist Gun, but you could hit the other 8, the executive types. Now, honestly, this is exactly what I want out of a crossover box. I want impactful, cool new stuff that takes a team and gives them a bunch of new toys. Now, Sentinels, did they need a bunch of new alpha types? I don't know if they necessarily needed a bunch of new alpha types. Just Mastermold feels pretty strong in and of itself, but I like that this to me feels like we're going to have a whole Sentinel specific deck, and it's going to feel better than using actual Sentinel. Like, Mastermold doesn't need any superpowers, and this is a team that doesn't have any wild locations, so that like really fits that. Man, I'm excited about that. You can see above me here, there's some other things that are coming in this crossover box. That looks clearly like Beast and Scarlet Witch. Don't know anything specific about them other than what's on the box. But as far as the first spoilers we've had since August or whatever, home runs. I like all these cards. I think these are all really cool. I'm very, very happy with this. I am absolutely going to play this main character. Is this main character going to be competitively viable? That I just don't know. Depending upon the format, there are certainly things that exist that could make life really hard for a deck that wants to have 20 of its cards have the same name. There are bad news things that can happen out there as far as pulling stuff out of the deck. If you're drawing that many extra cards, you're of course susceptible to mind games. Supergiant was a backbreak card that didn't exist in the second chance format, and that's one of the reasons the machine abuse decks were able to be so oppressive or feel so oppressive during testing. I don't really care that much about Battle Worlds. I just don't play the game. I just don't engage with the game in the Battle World format often enough for this to be really impactful for me. So this is kind of like whatever. The rest of these cards, this is one banger after another. Full stamp of approval. I like all these cards. All right, I guess that's all I have to say about all this. It feels great to be back in the spoiler season again, and hopefully that means I'll be seeing y'all next week when we talk about the second wave of Crossover 4 spoiler cards. So